What's up? Good morning. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? Hang out here for just a minute, see if anybody wants to pop on. I don't really know. Oh, that's right. I got music playing. Music makes me happy, so I'm going to listen to it, even though I'm talking to you. Hang out here for half a second, tell you a little story, and then turn this off. Because we got stuff to do today. Feeling productive, feeling kind of positive. I'm gonna ride that. Good morning. What's up? How you doing today? Hang out here for half a second, see if anybody else wants to hang out. Hello. Good morning. Well, not where you are. Good afternoon. Evening? What time is it over there right now? How's everybody? Feeling good? Yeah. Give this just another minute, see if anybody else wants to pop on, chit chat for half a second. 12:15 on the East Coast. That's nothing. Still got the whole day ahead of you. Just waking up. Did you eat lunch yet? Yeah, I was gonna say 7:15 p.m. sounds about right. So, tell me, how's my future look? Was it a good day? In case you're wondering, we've got dear friends from the Middle East hanging out with us today. Hanging out. Give just another minute here. So this is me sitting here smiling. Great, glad to hear it. Amazing day. There we go. Was hoping somebody would let me know. Well, that's good. I hope that at 7:15 my time I'm saying the same story. A couple folks will beat me to it, but it'll be pretty great either way. So, here's the thing. We are living in a very stressful time for a lot of reasons. You know, there's all the uncertainty in the world of what's going on and how do we stay healthy and how long can we stay cooped up in these houses with these walls closing in on us before we start to lose nuts? How was the commute today? Somebody just asked. Exactly, right? Long drive all the way from the kitchen to the guest room. That's where we're at right now. So that's the rest of the house. This is where I am at work. What's up? Good morning. And so, that can be stressful. I never really get to leave my job because my job came home with me and isn't going to go away. But there's also this long walk all the way from upstairs to downstairs for somebody that's following along. Yeah, right? The problem with it is that, when this first became a thing, we all got real gung-ho. We're all like, yeah, we got this, unite, we got it, we're in this together. And then, last week it started to feel like a grind where we settle in a bit and you realize, dang, there's a lot of work associated with keeping the world spinning without, ever going out into it. And so that built. And for me, it kind of reached a peak Friday over the weekend. And then yesterday was just not a good day for me. I'm going to tell you most of that story tomorrow. But what I realized is there's a lot of stress right now with just everything that's going on, plus the fact that we're still trying to get things done. I mean, we've given ourselves a pause, kind of, but not completely. So I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they got me all inspired, and I'm basically just going to repeat their message to you, so I'm not going to claim credit for this one. It's actually, they were repeating the message of a news article that they had read that was written back in 2015. Folks over at the Harvard Business Review talking about stress. By the way, what's the name of the article? Stress can be a good thing if you know how to use it. You can Google that, and it's the top result. Pretty cool little article where some smart folks studied the effects of stress, and they said, if you know how to use it, stress can actually be a good thing. It can enhance you rather than debilitate you, and the reason is that it draws your attention and it focuses you. Believe it or not, it actually releases chemicals in your brain like adrenaline and dopamine, things like that, that cause you to focus. And I think that might have been some of the cause of my own stress and frustration lately, is that I have a million things that need to happen, all of which involve remaining on these connected communication platforms. And so there's just notifications from 120 students and 20 teaching assistants and colleagues and bosses and friends and family. And it's like, wow, a lot of folks counting on me, well, on each other, right? I'm sure we can all sympathize here. There are a lot of people right now that I kind of feel like the glue for in a small way, right? And I'm sure that you've got some folks in your life that you feel that way about as well. So here's the thing. What they point out is that stress is enhancing because it tells you that you care. You can't be stressed about something you don't care about. And so when you experience stress, what's really happening is you're realizing that something important is happening here. And so they recommend a 3-step response, right? Because what would the world be if we didn't have 3 steps to everything? And so the first step is to just see it and label it. It's okay to be stressed. So maybe step 1 to processing that is just acknowledging. For me, that looks like saying something along the lines of, I'm really stressed because there are, or at least I feel like there are a lot of people depending on me. My family, my students, customers at Intentional Academy. As a leader, there's a lot of people that I feel are asking me to answer the question, now what? And that's stressful, right? But it's only stressful because I care and because I want to be able to answer that question, offer an answer. And so it's actually kind of empowering just to stop and think for half a minute that, wow, I'm kind of honored to be in that position, and more importantly, to be wired in a way that this is something that matters to me, right? And so thank you, stress, for reminding me of what it is that I care about. Number 2, so right, step 1, see it, own it, name it, or see it, name it, something like that. Step 2 here is to own it, meaning starting to say, listen, there is stress. I'm not going to try and avoid this, right? We could distract ourselves. I could clock out, go self-medicate, play some video games, have a drink, whatever, or just binge and hide. Or I can realize what this really is. And the metaphor that they use in the article is really great. They say it's a cold, dark night on the side of Everest. See, it's not that you're just in this miserable place. The reason you care is that you're in a miserable place that's the challenge on the way to something awesome. And so having something block you there is part of the value of it. So this isn't just stress because the world is difficult. It's stress because you're on your way somewhere. And I think owning it looks like being able to say, well, I can't change this, but I am going to get something out of it, darn it. Right, here we are. This is where we are. This is where we are right now. And we can either let that feel like misery and difficulty and pain, or we can say, well, I can't change the situation, but I'm going to grow in it. I'm going to use this to get better at something. Right? And hopefully the cause of the stress itself is something that grows you. Right? And then number 3 is to use it, right? So see it, own it, use it. What I mean by use it is actually leverage the fact that when you feel stress, like in that moment, when you start to feel yourself like, what's happening is your brain is releasing chemicals into your head that make you focus. And that can be hard because a negative thing may have started it, and so we focus in on the negative. But if you can reframe that initial impetus, the initial thing that caused you to feel this way, what you'll realize is you got smacked in the face by an opportunity, and that's where you can focus. And so it's really interesting. They showed a study, by the way, of just asking students to reframe pre-test anxiety as beneficial. So, I'm stressed about this exam. Must be because I care a lot. That's really cool. Just by starting to think that way, their scores on the exams improved. Pretty wild. The point here is Never waste a good crisis. When you find yourself, end of the fourth quarter, 1 minute left, 95 yards to move a football, that's when you perform your best, right? Sure, you could implode and give up and walk away and blame the circumstance and say, well, it was all, the odds were stacked against me. Or you could respond by saying, well, darn it, here we are, gut check time, let's go. I think the one thing that's kind of missing from the article that I want to add to it, though, is that in all of this, we are not alone. You don't have to process all of these things that are happening by yourself, whether it's the people that are already in your life or if you'd like to meet some new ones. Love to invite you. You can come hang out with us. We set up a community online through the Intentional Academy, and you can access that at intentionalacademy.com/community. We're there basically all day, every day, talking with each other, processing this stuff, kind of working through it. The point is, when you are stressed, let that be a reminder that the reason for it is that there's something you care about, and that is a really good thing. I'm really thankful that I care enough to be stressed about some stuff. That's delightful. I'm not sure delightful is the right word. Either way, thanks for listening to my rant, everybody. I'm going to hang out for just another minute, see how everybody's doing. How are you doing? Are we good? Does anybody want to, isn't there a way you can chit-chat on this thing? If you want, we could try that. I'll pop up and say hello. I don't know. How do I do that? I don't know. Press the plus button? No. Press that button. Hey, look at that. Anybody want to be brave? Either way, maybe we'll try that next time. I hope that you have an incredible day, my friend. I will see you soon. Peace.